Hey
guys, welcome to Monday Night Novak News. You've got Mark Novak and Lisa Novak here tonight. We're going to bring you lots of interesting stuff. Tonight we're going to be talking about marketing and are you getting ripped for your marketing? Are we doing an intro or are we just going straight into it?
Intro.
Oh, we are doing an intro. I tell you what, it has been a crazy Monday. Honestly, I think this goes hands down as one of the craziest days I've had in real estate today. No joke. I hid under my desk. I hid under my desk today and I was like, no one's going to find me here. It's been nuts.
It's been it's been awesome. Plenty of activity.
It has.
Two, people are a bit crazy. They're acting like it's a full moon.
Well, it is a full moon though.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Right now?
No, it has been a full moon a few nights ago.
There's a bit of werewolf going on with sellers and buyers.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a little bit crazy
which is
out
part
there.
of our job to manage this.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But tonight, guys, we're going to be talking to you about, are you getting ripped with your marketing? We're going to talk about a few different scenarios.
People don't know.
No, people don't know, A, what the costs are if you are launching to market. B, that you have an option if you don't want to spend money by going onto the real estate portals. And C, what do you do if you've been on the real estate portals and you haven't sold? Then what do you do? So we're going to talk people through that tonight. What do you reckon, Mark?
You know what? I think that these days it's really shone a light on what's important and what's not, because any Muppet could have sold a property in the last 12 months. Very, very easy. It's a bit like trying to sell a car at the moment, or a lot of products out there. They were sort of walking out the door. So the focus for sellers, a lot of it was on commission. And they didn't really mind about strategy. They didn't really care about what was going to be done on their property. Now we call it a cleanup when a seller comes to us and says, hey, what are you going to do? Can you help? We haven't sold. What have we done wrong? They're sort of grabbing that. Never had to grab that sort of microscope or that and have a look over what's been happening on their campaign. And they're definitely doing it now.
Yeah.
Something that I've seen, I've been through this market a couple of times when it operates like this, we know exactly what to do. But marketing's a big thing in it.
So let's talk first, because I think what you're referring to, Mark, is the post-market cleanup. So when you've been on the market with another agent, the property didn't sell, and then you're like, now, like, what do we do now? We actually specialize in that. That's probably
a lot of people think it's the property or the market. No one actually thinks it could be the agent that's a dud.
Yeah, I signed 4 last week, Mark. 4 of those.
How many?
From 4.
That
1,
little
2, 3,
fingers
4.
you got there, Lise.
From other. So rude. Watch that I don't point that finger
those
at
fingers
you.
just go like that.
No.
Go like that and show us those fingers.
4.
So they're my fingers. Show us yours.
It's so rude.
They're like triple the width of.
God, he's rude. I'm going to smack you with them in a minute.
No, but I'm just not triple the width of my width. But they're just.
Do you notice every time Mark and I get on camera, go back to Friday, guys. Go back to Novak News on Friday, and look, he was having a go at me then. Honestly.
But it's a bit of banter.
You're going to cop it when we get off here, that's for sure. So I signed up for post-markets off the back of other agents last week. That's a significant amount. So otherwise known as expired listings in the marketplace.
Cleanup.
Or a cleanup. I call it the post-market cleanup. I love doing them because I love taking that campaign, working out what went wrong and coming up with innovative ways to get the vendors sold. Absolutely love doing it.
You're like a specialist in the medical field, as opposed to a GP.
And we do get them sold, and often they do get sold quite quickly. And it's got nothing to do with just dropping the price. It's got a lot to do with being extremely honest with the vendor about where the market expectations are. So sometimes a real estate agent may come in way too high with pricing, and that's a big dire mistake for a variety of reasons.
And Tom Panos has been saying that in the news lately. He's been saying maybe your agent's just got your price wrong. So that's interesting.
It's also interesting to hear it from a different perspective as well. So if you're on the market, guys, and you're watching this and you're wondering why your property is not moving, reach out to another local agent and just say, hey, I just want to know if I can just get an appraisal as to where you think my property might sit in the current market, and just listen, because it is changing weekly at the moment. Make sure that that pricing is right. But we'll talk about the post-market. Let's start off with talking about marketing expenses, Mark. If you are going onto the market and you're going to pay for marketing, let's talk about that.
It's got the client's name in here, so I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. Well, that one. You see that?
I think it's a little bit fuzzy
It's a
there.
bit fuzzy there.
Yep.
But you've got online marketing, you've got photography, you've got A4, you've got starter packs. This is the type of money that people can spend on a property. You go nuts on that page, you can spend 10 grand to get your property on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main costs, guys, when you're launching out to market are photography, and that should come in at around sort of $500 to $1,000. And this may vary area to area, but this is primarily what we see here on the northern beaches of Sydney. So photography, let's call it $1,000 for argument's sake, right?
Yep.
Then you've got the major property portals like realestate.com.au. Here on the northern beaches, for a property to list it live, you're looking at circa $2,400.
They replaced the newspaper effectively. So newspapers was sort of per week, you were paying $5,000 to $2,500 per week for a newspaper. They got replaced by the portals. They got replaced by realestate.com, by domain.com.au.
Yep.
There's some other competitors that I probably wouldn't worry about for. Don't shoot me down. But I think Domain and Real Estate are the best ones.
So domain costs, again, it varies depending on the value of the property. But let's call it...
I always get asked about the cost of Domain or realestate.com. Who's better than the other? Like which ones? Can you explain that quickly? Because if people are going to be spending their money on advertising, what's the difference between REA and Domain?
And again, it varies. It's very area centric. So here on the northern beaches, realestate.com, from our understanding, trumps Domain 2-1. It is the bigger portal here on the northern beaches, but that changes because in the eastern suburbs, my understanding is it's Domain. So it does change area to area.
And you know where that came from? That came from the newspaper penetration.
Yeah.
So areas that had, like Manly Daily was a News Corp, news.com.au.
Yeah.
And News Corp owned REA. So a lot of areas that had the paper penetration, one was Courier, one was News Corp. They're the ones that won the either Domain.
Yep.
So I guess if you are looking at attracting that eastern suburbs buyer as an example, then you will get that domain.com.au is probably a slightly better website for you. So you may be in DY, selling in DY.
So it's very area centric.
And you may go, I want to attract a double bay buyer, then being on Domain would assist you, and you'd pay that little bit more. But
you want to make sure you're
when
crossing
we put
your
them up
T's
together, it's 2-1. We'll get double the inquiries off REA in the northern beaches.
So you've got realestate.com, you've got Domain, you've got your professional photography, you've got your floor plan, right? So we're up to already about $4,500 approximately. And then you've got a signboard, circa 500, let's call it $500. Let's throw in some other really nice photography like drones, sunrise,
photos,
sunsets. So you can add probably another $300-400 to that.
Slow walking real estate agent in the video.
So you can see that you are slowly starting to push up toward that sort of $8,000 to $10,000 for your marketing. All right. Now that again, that's Northern Beaches centric. That will change area to area.
And a lot of agents will come out and just go bang, 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 bang. Give me a check for $5,000. Give me a check for $8,000. Let's go. But there is an option prior to that, which we call pre-marketing, pre-market, some call off-market, where your agent should be able to activate the buyer database, get all those guys through. So all the opens they've done previously, their database of all the buyers previously, they should be able to get through at no cost. So before you've even spent $1, you should be able to get hot buyers through at no charge to you.
So can I just reverse back a little bit? The reason that we started to do the whole pre-market strategy, or what we consider our plan A, is because we had sellers coming to us and saying, I don't want to spend all that money on marketing.
Yep.
I don't want it to affect my sale price,
Yep.
but I'm just here to test the market and dip my toes in. And if I like what I hear, then I may take it to that plan B. So we came up with a strategy that we refer to as our pre-market $0 marketing strategy. It's really revolutionized an industry. It literally took the industry, it took off. It really did, and it had a big ripple-on effect through the industry. And social media, of course, was a wonderful avenue to be able to advertise those properties in that $0 marketing phase. So it's a wonderful opportunity for sellers who are looking to just test the market. They can do that without any marketing cost whatsoever. We include professional photos. We include a signboard, and the property goes out to our very extensive database and very extensive social media following. And it's important to note that 70% of our properties are sold that way and not cheaply.
At good prices. Awesome question. Compared to 10 years ago, the cost of marketing till today, I would suggest to you that 10 years ago, a property, I'll just give you our area as an example.
Yeah.
Our area for a house in Beacon Hill, Cromer,
Yep.
would have been what? So now it's $2 million bucks. Back then it was $1 million bucks.
Yep.
800,000. So 800,000, if you wanted a full page in the paper, was probably a bit of an overkill. You'd probably do a bunch of half pages. You run a 4-week campaign with half pages, you'd be up for about 10 grand.
Okay.
Used to be about 1%.
10 grand now
About-
we're talking about, or we're talking about 10 grand back then?
Back then.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Newspaper advertising.
There was no portals.
But
But it used
newspaper
to be,
advertising was
if you were spending a
expensive.
buck, like a shitload on marketing your property, it would be 1% of the value.
Okay.
I'd suggest now it's a lot less.
Yeah, I would too. But also, newspaper advertising was more expensive. It was clunky. We used to have to get the ads in. There was a cutoff, and I think it was Monday, 2:00.
Yep.
Mark for the Saturday. So if something changed and the property sold in the interim, or it wasn't live information. It was always very, very clunky, but it was also very expensive. But back then, we used to have a one-stop shop cost for realestate.com and domain. So you would pay your monthly subscription to realestate.com. Mark gets sidetracked. Like when we're doing socials, I notice he'll start, we're waving. Who are we waving to? Bye, Billy. Bye, Billy. We're waving to Billy.
It's just manners.
You lie. You're doing a show.
But
here's
Ada,
Billy.
come say
Come
hi,
say hi, Billy.
Wow.
Come say hi.
Hey, Billy, have you ever noticed Lisa?
Lisa got really tall
You ever
tonight.
noticed Lisa kicks me under the table sometimes? Or
No, not
pushes
kick.
me?
I just knocked him. We
She
just.
want that.
That's what you did. She gave me a little bit of a nudge.
I'm going to nudge you. It's so rude. Get out of here, Billy, before it gets dangerous. But we used to have the one-stop cost for realestate.com and domain, and you could launch up as many properties as you wanted within your monthly
There was sort of
subscription.
that gap where you could do that. So
Yeah.
the newspaper tape it off, and then the web portals came in, could throw everything on there.
You could, yeah.
But that was the days when the portals were bashing the newspapers
Yeah.
were bashing the portals. I think the papers have given up. They just have
Well,
disappeared.
yeah.
So
Well, but social media is now bashing the real estate
good. I
portals.
like that.
Tate's
It's
just
true,
asking
isn't
a
it?
question in here. Is pre-market working for you still in this market now? Hey, this is a really, really interesting question, because when I came up with this pre-market strategy, I thought this is a great opportunity for buyers to be able to see and buy property first before it launches onto the real estate portals. And that works in a roaring hot market when we don't have a lot of stock.
yes.
And I wondered how it would work. This is going back a few years ago, Tate. But I wondered,
It's a really good question.
it is a really good question, because I actually wondered myself, how's this going to work when the market cools? And it works really well for vendors. So in this market, I think pretty much every property I've signed, bar a couple, have all been pre-market, where the vendors have said, we don't know, we're a bit nervous about the market. And if we're going to get the price we want, so enter the pre-market strategy, and it gives these guys the opportunity to test it and dip their toes in
huge.
and just hear the
It's
great.
huge.
It is.
Because I think at the moment there's a lot of variables with people.
Yeah.
What the hell is the price I'm going to buy? Prices have changed. So I don't know what I'm going to buy for. I don't know what I'm going to sell for. There's that certainty sort of left that market. I don't know how much I can lend. So if you can land your feet with 3 of those variables without spending $1, which pre-market can do.
But it's a discovery phase.
It's pretty good.
It's a discovery phase.
Good.
And don't dismiss that, guys.
Yep.
Because there are plenty of vendors that are out there that are saying, I don't want to go spend 10 grand on marketing or 5 to 10 grand on marketing if I don't know that I'm going to get the price that I want.
Still happy to.
Yep.
They're still happy to do that. They're still happy to go down that road.
Oh, absolutely.
But they sort of want to go through that discovery phase, but they want genuine buys, genuine interest. They want, and so the legs on social media. Something that we've always maintained is most agents can't do social. So you've got to be really careful. If they're going to building your pre-market campaign up on social, be really, really careful about that and have a look what sort of content they're producing. Because you can say, I'm going to put you on television and you're on channel 724. You can say, I'm going to put you on television and you're on channel 7, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure your agent's got that following, got that local interest, make sure that they don't have 5,000 people.
It's also not easy to do.
Them.
Like I think, often I'll get agents that contact me and say it didn't work. I tried the social media, but they've done it for a couple of weeks. Don't put up a two-dimensional photo onto your Instagram and just sit back on your lounge and go, oh, I didn't get anything on that. Oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, that's a load of rubbish. It's not going to work if you do it that way. You've got to be putting out video content and you've got to be doing it continuously. It's a hell of a lot of work, but you will reap the rewards for your vendors and your buyers as a result of it.
Well, the guys in Alice Springs saying, Lise.
Here we go. REA. So these guys are from Alice Springs. G'day, guys. I hope you're well.
G'day.
So really, g'day. That's what we say when they're up in Alice Springs.
Hopefully,
it's the Aussie coming out of me.
Hopefully, Lisa didn't insult you.
No,
Alice.
I don't insult these guys. I love these guys. So up in Alice Springs, realestate.com costs us $700 and Domain is $28. But people in the eastern states seem to use Domain. There you go.
Yeah.
So it really does change. It's very area centric, these prices.
And just so you know, Lisa, that's not Mrs. Springs or Alice.
I know that. It's true. I know who it is. I speak with these guys often.
Mel's going to love that.
That's really interesting, guys. Really interesting. I'd be keen to hear, if you're an agent watching, what you are being charged for realestate.com and Domain in your area, because it really differs. I know the eastern suburbs of Sydney, it almost doubles those costs.
Adam, I get scared when I see Michael Edwards' comments. And I always run them. They're slightly scary, but they're always good questions.
Yeah, he just throws it out there. We love that.
He just says it out.
What about if a vendor is not motivated and just wants to test the water? Is it worth your investment in time and cost? So here's the thing, Michael. The short answer is yes, because I'm yet to launch a property pre-market. Sometimes we do have to then launch it to market.
Very good
and it hasn't sold. Because a vendor will always start off by going, oh, I don't really know if I want to sell, but I'm just going to test the market. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And by the time we've gotten to week 2, they're well and truly invested in selling the property.
You know what I say? They're asking for help.
Yeah.
You decide if you don't want to help someone or you want to help someone. I generally always help.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're people. They may
Yeah.
not speak English. They may be educated, not educated. They may be a little bit angry, a little bit friendly, but these guys are asking you for help, and they're asking for that pre-market. They're asking for that price discovery. And you're right. It is.
But the risk is on us.
It's an enormous investment of time and money on an agency side. Like our media agency that's putting all these assets together for marketing are spending an enormous amount of time,
huge amount of time,
money. But I just,
but also, Mark, as an agent,
it pays the bills. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, there's this. And if you don't sell for them, they love you. They come back. They refer their friends.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. So even
because
though
the gamble is on us,
we're not clicking the ticket.
Yeah.
all the time, but we're helping people all the time. And yeah, I guess that, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's a really
But it
good
is
question.
a tried and tested approach. And I do want to just point out, we're still on that pre-market strategy, that we're not here to save money in marketing.
No.
Okay, we're not. It's giving those sellers and buyers options. And there's been many a time. In fact, I reckon more than half of my properties at the moment have now launched onto realestate.com and or Domain, because there's been many a time where if I feel I can get more money by launching onto those real estate portals for the vendor, of course, that's what I'm going to do. There's a property that I'm just about to launch in Manly, Mark. It's a really, really amazing apartment on the beachfront in Manly. And that one's going to auction. It's going to realestate.com. It's going to Domain. What are you laughing at?
I love when you use my name because I'm like a school teacher. You know, when the school
live
teacher,
videos rock. They really do. Like, it's so important to do that, guys,
Lisa?
as you know. Yes.
Because,
honestly, tonight it's been a long day, and I think Mark's just overtired.
And I'm just entertained. Yep. I'm entertained with Lisa in her bare feet and what she's standing on to be up at this height. And she's
I quite like being this high.
She's.
I've taken my heels off and I'm standing on a box.
I quite like you this height as well.
Standing on a box. Here we go.
Michael,
if a vendor is unrealistic, do you think it affects your professionalism marketing their home to the market? So,
Mason, what have you been taking?
There's some killer questions.
He's been on NZT.
I at the moment, I'll be honest, Michael, actually not just at the moment, but always.
It's a really good question.
I will always be extremely realistic with my pricing with a vendor. And if they have unrealistic expectations, and I've got a couple of those at the moment, I'll be clear with the vendor. Yep. That's a very high price for your property. That's over the expectations of what I think it'll achieve, but let's give it a go. And so again, the pre-market works really well.
And just sometimes, the golden goose lays the egg. And it's like, man, if I didn't actually try that, I know they were high, but if I didn't try that, they wouldn't have obtained that price. Rich to them, rich to you, rich to the buyer. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So
just
something. But I know, Michael, there is your reputation's on the line as well. Your days on market as an agent, reputation's line. Your neighbours are watching. You may have egg on your face. You may not get a result, but I think you can't knock people for hard work.
But can I just say where things go wrong? So let's talk about the post-market cleanup for a sec, which is where a property has been on the market for too long with another agent. It's not sold, and it's come over to us as agents. Well,
does it need a break between you and the other agent?
God, no, definitely not. No. Because I will burn a campaign. So I've just had a property. That's come over. It just launched actually on Saturday, and it was on the market with another agent for circa 60 days, I think it was.
Yes.
That's too long.
Yes.
And it came over to me, and now we're doing what I call the post-market cleanup.
Open heart surgery.
And it's about having a really good, honest conversation about where the property sits in the market.
That's all they want.
So not over-promising and under-delivering, redoing photography, so not using an old photos from an old agent, and going out to different portals where buyers may not have seen it before. Social media is a huge one, and database if you're a local agent doing a lot of transactions. New price. Must have a new price. Yes.
The 3 Ps are golden in this environment anyway. Days on market is a metric that the industry uses from the day it originally hits the market on a portal.
Yep.
Right. To when it actually sells. They are the days on market. So the days on market metric is very important. I actually think the days on market metric is more important and less variable, and you can't throw poo at it, than an auction result. So people always follow these auction results, but I reckon the days on market's a brilliant metric. And
it's a bit all over the shop at the moment, though.
But it is what it is.
It is. Oh, absolutely. Like, you can't argue the facts, but it is a bit all over the shop. So at the moment, and I don't know, so there's some agents on here, but our average days on market for a 2-bedroom apartment has blown out by double. So it was sitting on average 14 days. It's now blown out to 28 days. There you go. Bang on. 24 it says on realestate.com, RP data. So interesting, really interesting, but they have doubled. But What were you just saying, Mark? I've just lost my. What are you laughing at?
We weren't even close.
What are you laughing at?
You're really confident in those figures, but they weren't close.
Was that not Was that apartments?
No. Are you going to try this
Do
together?
you know what? I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna leave the rest of the show to Mark. He's really annoying me today.
I do agree with you, Lisa. I reckon the days on market.
It's been a long day.
I reckon the days on market for units, DY, and houses and all the beaches.
Yeah.
I reckon it could have even doubled, more than doubled.
I just said that.
I reckon it could be triple.
No.
I reckon it could be triple to quadruple.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
whatever it is, it's blown out. That's for sure. It's blown out. All right. So the post-market cleanup, guys. Now, there's something else I want to just talk to you about with that post-market cleanup. When you have brought a property over to another agent, the biggest thing for a seller is I don't want to have to pay all that marketing again. Usually they've been ripped up to $10,000 in marketing.
I hate it.
And they're like, I don't want to do this again.
Don't blame them.
Don't blame them either.
Yep.
So we will redo their photos for them for free.
Yes.
Realestate.com, and they don't advertise this, but they will do a relist fee.
This is a really good one. Yeah.
So the property's been on the market with another agent. It's come over to us, and we can contact realestate.com and say, we want to do a relist fee, and it's 50% of what the fee was.
Not many agents know about this.
They haven't
needed to know about this for the last 3 years, 2 years, because the market's been so supersonic. But the realist, that's half.
That's half. So 50% straight away. So already the pain is halved for them.
Yep.
But we will really try and keep those costs down.
We'll just lean on your real estate agent to spend a little bit of money on you as well. Why not?
No, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Let them put their money where their mouth is.
But there's one more trick with realestate.com.
But we've got more.
But wait, there's more. They've got a no sale, no pay fee. Right? Again, not advertised, and many agents don't know about it, but you can offer to your vendors, and please ask your reps first, if the property does not sell, the vendor does not need to pay for the cost of the ad on realestate.com.
It's true, and they are trialing it. It is out there. It is a valid people are using it. They're not promoting it. It's a great product.
But if they do sell,
really
Mark,
advice.
there's a 20% surcharge on top of the cost of the realestate.com ad.
If you sell, they've done the metrics, which are probably wrong.
Yep.
So take them up on it now. The market's changed since when it first came out.
And at that stage, Mark, those vendors, they just want to be put out of pain. They want honesty. That is number one. They want honesty.
Yeah.
So make sure you give it to them. Someone who's going to work hard, and they just look. It's what I consider the definition of insanity.
Good strategy.
If you continue to do the same thing over and over, nothing's going to change.
And expect a different result. Nothing's going to change.
Exactly.
Before we go, any questions, anyone, throw them at us. We're talking tonight about, are you getting ripped off in marketing for property? Ask away before we go. What about rentals?
So rentals, things change significantly. We actually just do a very small fee for rentals. It's the cost of $239 that comes out of rent.
Yep.
So we don't ask for any money up front. We'll include professional photos, a signboard, realestate.com, and domain. $239. It's a packaged price.
Yeah.
Our rentals team is unbelievable. There is no one that is going to get a property rented faster on the beaches than we are. I've never seen a more proactive team of people. They're phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. Likewise, if you're not happy with your managing agent, guys, you don't need to sit and wait the whole period out.
Different to sales.
We can take it over straight away.
Sales, that's a good one. Sales, you may have to wait 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to switch to a new sales agency or agent.
Yes.
Not with rentals. Bang, do it straight away. No cost.
That's it. Done. All right. We are well over time, guys.
Yes.
Have a wonderful week. It's certainly been a really, 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 really crazy day. Got a great property exchange today, which is awesome. 26 Carefree Road in North Narrabeen.
Congratulations,
Smashed
Claire.
it out of the
Congratulations,
ballpark.
Peter.
Yep. Wonderful property, wonderful price, wonderful vendors, and a wonderful buyer. Have a great week, guys.
Love you. I hope we helped you.
See ya.
Guys.
Bye.